And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Girls of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we're talking about SMV, sexual market value for women, and helping you to increase the odds of you being able to secure yourself your man of high value. Let's understand from a standpoint of a woman, or from the standpoint of a man, actually, what is required for you to get him. What does he want? What does he need? Because you now understand that men of high value have choices. Obviously, they've got choices because there is a lack of men of high value in the world. There's a massive lack. Just like we say that there's a lack of leadership in the world, there's massively a lack of good men out there. That's why women say, oh, where are all the good men? Blah, blah, blah. There are tons of good men. However, very often they're not trustworthy in the sense of them actually having power to give you the things that you desire in your life. Can we agree with that? So they're nice guys, but they don't have the confidence and the commitment level to give you the things that you desire. But they exist. And it's those guys that are important. Not even those guys. It's that guy that's important to get. It's not a lot of guys. It's one out of the literally hundreds of millions of men. You only need one. And universe has it that way that it's actually easy to be in love with that person forever if you apply the correct principles. And that's what this channel is all about, helping you to apply the correct principles that will secure you a man of high value and help you to retain him for the rest of your life, okay, including his affection and his attention. So what are some important key aspects when it comes to sexual market value? What I would do if I were you, maybe I'll put it as a thumbnail to this video, which is if you search Dalrock SMV image, Dalrock DAL rock SMV image on Google, you will find a perfect image. In my opinion, it's like 90% correct or 95% correct. Obviously, just one man's opinion, but of how SMV works in comparison to men. So meaning 0 to 10 when it comes to men and 0 to 10 when it comes to women in terms of attraction level or sexual market value in terms of what men desire and what women desire. And also you can search, if you search that one and then in girl world, then you'll also see the comparison of what women believe in a feminist society of how long their sexual market value lasts. What we know as men is that sexual market value for women, it's not that it completely depreciates and men are not interested in women that are above 25 years old. If that was the case, then women wouldn't get married at 35, 40, 45, etc. Obviously, you still have sexual market value, obviously, and every person have intrinsic value simply from being a person and being a human. However, we've got to understand it from the standpoint of the man of high value. It doesn't matter if you have value if you don't have the value that a man of high value desires. Okay, let's keep it simple. So, what are the things that they want? I've talked about this before on this channel. In fact, many times. If you just watch more and more of my channel, you'll find it. I made a great video. Actually, I rewatched it just now. Was how to be a 10 in your future man's eyes. And let's see if I can put a link up for that. But search for it if you haven't found it. What do men want? Femininity. That's one of the biggest aspects that masculine men desire. Femininity. Keeping it simple, what is femininity? It is women being unburdened by the things of this world, by issues, by problems, by emotional baggage, by being in the past or being worried and anxious about the future. A man desires a woman who's feminine, unburdened, carefree. The easiest and best time for a man to secure a woman that's unburdened and carefree is a woman that has been in the protective care of her father since the beginning of time, since the beginning of her life. That's why men are very interested in girls that are between the age of 18 and 22, because they still been in that protection phase of their father. And now they're morphing into adulthood and moving towards, life in general, but they're still unburdened. They still haven't had the exponential decline of the world's issues and problems come upon them, if that makes sense. Femininity is crucial. And if you have not won the genetic lottery, you increase your sexual market value dramatically simply by being feminine, because that's what men want. But you might say now, no, but there are men out there who say that masculinity in women is what attracts them. That's correct, in feminine guys. So the more the world goes towards men becoming feminine, they'll desire masculine women sexually, but not long term as partners for life. And they might say that they desire it, but those are the guys that don't get it, that have no idea what they have in store for them, getting together, marrying a woman who's masculine. Masculinity in women will destroy a man every single time, because masculine women are powerful. Now, I'm not saying women shouldn't be powerful, but when they become masculine, they're becoming overpowering towards the man's power. And if you understand what actually attracts a woman to a man, like what's attractive for a woman, is that her man has power. So if a woman is overpowering, that is going to create issues in their relationship, because she will always win. She has sexuality and she has intense emotions, which means that it's always going to be her way or the highway. The man will submit and take a backseat in the relationship, and he'll try sometimes to to ruffle the feathers in order to show that he's the man, macho man, and then the relationship is not going to work out. That's what happens most of the time with masculine women, which is a problem. That's why you don't want a feminine man. Work on your masculinity if you want a feminine man, but it's going to destroy your love life long term. In the short run, if you're very, very attractive on the beauty scale, yeah, it might work for a while, but then eventually it's going to suck long term. So you want to make sure that you secure your man early on in your life, between the age of 18 to 22, when you are at your most unburdened state, when you're at your most feminine state, when you don't think about all of the problems that need to be solved in the world, or that needs to be solved in your own life, right? So talked about femininity. Another aspect is obviously beauty. Men desire beauty in women. Duh, right? Why is that? We desire health. If you look at it from the standpoint of evolution and reproduction and creating a family with someone, you're as a man, as a high value man, you obviously want a powerful next generation coming from your loins, which means that you need as beautiful or as healthy a woman as possible. Okay, health is crucial. It's femininity and health. You might say beauty, but if you're just putting a bunch of makeup on yourself and you're just trying to cover, flaunt your goods, that's not health. Like, do you understand what I mean? Like, when you get below or beneath those clothes, when a man sees the full truth of what is going on, what we at the core of what we desire is health, because that is going to bring the healthiest children into this world from our loins. Does that make sense? Like, beauty is health. So if a woman is way too thin, well, we're not really into that. If a woman is way too fat, we're not really into that. Why? Because of health. Okay, it's not healthy what that woman is doing. Now, obviously, it's not her fault. A woman who's unburdened, it's a cause and effect from her environment, correct? And also, a man of high value has the capacity to bring a woman up. Let's say she's a 6 or a 7. on the sexual market value stage, a man can actually increase her femininity and increase her beauty over time simply by unburdening her. So this is a responsibility of a man of high value as well, to unburden his women. In fact, that's his only responsibility in that relationship. And he can do it, but he needs the help of women being with women. And that's why on this channel we talk about 3 girls in love, responsible polygyny, which is a crucial aspect of how to achieve a woman being unburdened for life. Okay, so that she doesn't have to be burdened by children, that she doesn't have to be burdened by being healthy, that she doesn't have to be burdened by the sexuality of the man's needs, that she doesn't have to be burdened by life or by her family or by being... Masculinity is the result of being burdened. So you've got the femininity aspect, you've got the beauty aspect. Let's just put it all into one go. I heard one time someone said what men want, or men of high value desire, is debt-free virgins without tattoos that have not gone to college. That's kind of a really great way of summing it up. If a woman has debts, obviously she's been burdened in the past. A woman who gets into debt obviously has burdens, or she's been told what to do by people that don't know what's good for them. For example, parents, right? What parents in their right mind would encourage a girl, their daughter, to get into debt? Not really good parents. Now, you love your parents, but just understand where that advice comes from. They basically immediately have, like, a real man of high value would of course come in and rescue the day and pay off your debts, of course, because he's got tons of money. But why take on the necessary debt when he has tons of women to choose from? Do you understand what I mean? Like, men choose women from a package point of view. If I accept her into my life, I have to accept the package of her debts, her package of her unhealthiness, her package of emotional baggage for past relationships, her this, her that, her parents, the in-laws, her everything. It's a package you accept as a man. So if you have a lot of different options of women that, you know, want your attention and affection and that want to secure you, then you're kind of like, well, you know, let's let's look at the package. And if the package has a lot of debt, has a lot of partner counts, okay, which means a lot of mental instability, a lot of emotional instability, a lot of emotional baggage. She has tattoos, which is proof of everything else that I've explained. Then it's kind of like, you know, if she's been to college, then of course that's also proof of all the other stuff very often as well. So if you as a woman can begin to understand the things that is stopping a man of high value from choosing you, maybe you're beautiful, fantastic, great, good on you. He'll probably just desire to, you know, a man of high value wouldn't do this, but a feminine man who maybe has the things that you desire, but you don't know that he's feminine, a feminine man will want to sleep with you on the same night or within a few dates. That's a feminine man because he just wants to sleep with you and then move on. That's femininity. That's focused on the now. You want a man that's rational, that's masculine, and that thinks long term. Because that man is a man of truth, a man of integrity, someone who does not sleep around, right? You don't want a man to, like, who sleeps around, because if he does, he cannot be a man of high value. It's physically impossible. It's in the definition. A man of high value will be voluntary celibate until he have secured the women that he desires for life. Once that is in place and the commitment from all parties is there, then we can enter into that sexual relationship, but not before then, if that makes sense. Let's see. I desire a man of high value. How do I acquire? So, I was going to talk about increasing your odds dramatically of securing a man of high value. So, let's say you are a 6, okay? What is the best way for you to increase your odds dramatically? Well, first of all, you've got to undo all of the damage that have happened in the past. So if you've got debts, obviously it would help if you start paying them down, right? That will unburden you over time. And yes, that will require for you to work. But you're actually disciplining yourself in something that's actually going to elevate your sexual market value over time. Debt is not that important compared to virginity, by the way. Okay, virginity is way more important than getting rid of your debts. Okay, so let's talk about that one next, even though that comes first. Voluntary celibacy and not watching porn, staying away from all sexual matters, uh, in order for you to be clean, in a sense, for your man of high value. It's not about entering into like this Madonna type thing. That's not what men desire. In fact, men desire women to be very sexual throughout their relationship in the future. Once the commitment is there, and you've committed for life, both of you, in with each other. However, you're probably going to be more of what his dreams are if you stay away from all the other men and all of the porn and all of the issues from the past. Okay, the less emotional baggage you have, the more unburdened you are, the less you think about the past, and the less you think about the future or comparing him to anyone else. There is only one man for you, always, right? That's kind of the essence. A man wants to win. A man wants to be adored and worshipped, to be honest. That's the real truth of the matter. For those of you women out there, I understand that, yes, no, God is the only one I worship. Yeah, but don't you want to be with the God? Then you've got to find a guy that's a semi-god or a mini-god that you can bring to that elevation of power, as long as he's the right guy. Do you understand what I'm talking about here? As long as he gets the stamp of approval that he is the right guy, why wouldn't you want to elevate his power? Because if you elevate his power, meaning through adoration or worship, that will make you more attracted to him forever. The more power he has, the more confidence he has, the more confidence he has, the more attracted to him you are. Simple as that. But again, you got to make sure that you secure the right guy. Another aspect that you can do is logistics. This was, when I chose my wife, I chose basically, I had to choose between two women. Not many people know this, but I was interested in another woman at the time when my wife came into my life, and my wife was like in the vicinity. She traveled from England. I had invited her over for us to check this out. Let's, understand if this is going to work or not. So she came over from England. We were there in Norway together, completely voluntary celibate, both of us. And I was discovering if she was going to be the one. And then I had someone in America that I was like, oh, that woman, I've been interested in her for a very, very long time. Like, we're talking 2 years plus. I was just like, that's kind of the woman that I wanted. And then I've got this girl here that really wants me, who's in my vicinity. And then I basically gave away the woman that, maybe she was there. She was definitely an option. But because I had the other girl in my vicinity, I ended up choosing her. That was one of the things that leaned me towards choosing her. So, in other words, if you want to find a man of high value, you need to be in the vicinity of him, right? He needs to know that you're an option, but not sexually. He needs to know that you're an option for the long term, right? That's the kind of thinking you need to have. I should make another video talking about, I need to make a video about the sales and marketing of women securing the right guy. Because really what you are, you just like a man is selling himself for a job, if when he goes to an interview, obviously he's selling himself. There's a transaction there. If I give you this, then you will give me money. In the same way, even though it's, obviously wrong to think about it in that term in terms of relationships, it still is you selling yourself for you getting long-term joy and happiness for life. Okay, but you're not selling yourself for a quick transaction. You're selling yourself to get the long-term benefits of what a man of high value has to offer you. But it's still selling, it's still marketing. So you've got to understand how sales work and how marketing works so that you can secure it, right? Reading How to Win Friends and Influence People is an important way of people skills. People skills is an important aspect as well. But okay, let's go through some of the quotes or some of the comments. I'm a solid 4. No matter how much I try to look pretty, I can't. I'm a burn victim. What do I do? Okay. What do you do? Well, the strengths that you have is the past issues that you've got. Okay, so let's see how you can make that into a strength. What can you do? Well, first of all, you can increase your odds dramatically by simply remaining in your femininity, being unburdened as possible. Obviously, it's going to be very difficult to get a 10, to get an 8, to get maybe, but you can get a 6. Absolutely, for sure. The goal then is to help you to find a man of high value who's got cash, who's accepting of the principles that I teach on this channel and on the Men of High Value channel, so that he's committed for life, and secure him. Obviously, in a very difficult situation as that, understand that technology is moving forward in the right direction. Eventually, you will be healed. Eventually, there are ways for you to solve that problem. Okay, so, but the most important aspects is showering. If you can show that you're more feminine than the rest of the women in this entire world, in terms of the love, the nurturing, the amazing things that you bring to the table, in terms of cooking, in terms of, you know, the bedroom, in terms of all the other skills that a woman brings to the table, trust me, a 6 will want you, a 7 will want you, and that's going to improve the amazingness of your children. Does that make sense? So your next generation doesn't have to suffer as you've suffered. So I'm just saying, from that standpoint, yes, it's a difficult circumstance, and but at the same time, also accepting responsible polygyny and saying and being open about it, that I want responsible polygyny, I want 3 girls in love. That alone will increase your sexual market value immediately in a man's eyes. Immediately. Do you understand that? When a woman is like, no, I want a man for myself, that's it, you're basically saying that your emotional needs are not important to me as a man of high value. As a masculine man of high value, my emotions are more important than yours, and they are. Okay, don't get me wrong. I even said on a video the other day that women's emotional needs are the most important in a family. Then comes the kids, and as a leader, the man comes last. However, he's the one who makes the choice, right? So you need to make sure that his emotional needs, especially in the beginning of that relationship, is taken care of, that he matters. And if his opinion and his emotional needs matter, then you will allow him 3 girls in love, responsible polygyny, him being committed to 3 women for life, forever. He doesn't sleep around with anyone else, because that would be a huge breach of trust. But 3 BFFs being together with 1 man of high value is the way to secure that and to elevate your sexual market value drastically, immediately. Understand, men. Most men don't know that this is true, or that this works. They're like, are you serious? 3 women? What? Are you? So you actually want to be with me, and you want to bring in your 2 best friends with? Okay, like that's exciting. That's how a man in his brain, he might not do that. As a man of high value, he'll probably be like, okay, that's interesting. Cool, interesting. Do you understand what I'm talking about here? As a man of high value, he won't be excited physically in his face, but inside his brain, he's going to be like, Wow, that is amazing. You just got a lot of points. Okay. So stick around with this movement. This is a dating thing without the dating. Okay. Men of High Value channel, the Girls of High Value channel. I'm massively making these guys men of high value. They're going to become more amazing than any other men that you'll ever see on this entire earth. And then you've got the Girls of High Value who understand femininity, who understand beauty, and understand homemaking. Homemaking is the best thing. Anyway, let's see. I have to get away from the porn. I had therapist diagnose me with chronic masturbation. It is a sin. It is against God. It is also against me when attempting to find a man of high value. Oh, you know what? Yes, chronic masturbation might be an issue because it burdens you. However, take away the it is a sin. It is against God because that burdens you. Does it not? Like God doesn't look upon you and say, "Stop doing that." That's not what He does. He understands. He knows what you're going through. Okay, and He'd rather you be unburdened. Just hey, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I don't judge you. I know what you're going through. Just simply let's try and figure out how you can get out of that situation. Okay, because chronic masturbation is it's a problem. Yes, porn is a problem, but you can get through this with the right help. Okay. So what do I want to say? I want to make sure that you guys understand what it takes in order for you to dramatically increase your odds of securing a man of high value. If you massively wait in terms of getting a man of high value, then your sexual market value decreases over time automatically, not just because of the beauty aspect, but because of the health aspect. Okay, and because of the increase of burdens aspect. The older you get, the more you begin to freak out. Oh, I'm never going to find a guy. That's burdening yourself. Trust me, you can find a guy. However, you've got to open up your options and you've got to secure yourself this channel and really watch all of the videos, in my opinion, because they're going to unburden you because it's not your fault. Okay. And over time, the more you accept that, things will become better and better and better for you. Men of high value are going to be ready on this channel within the next 6 to 12 to 18 months. We're going to have 10, 50, 100 men available who are men of high value who've secured their financial stability and their financial foundation for them to take upon themselves 3 women. Not 1, not 2, not 4, 3. And those 3 they will commit to for the rest of their lives. Understand that. Once you choose the things that men of high value desire in a woman, and you choose that for your life, and you basically get rid of all the other distractions, there is nothing more important to you than securing a man of high value and what he thinks. Then you're going to find the right guy. Then the right guy is going to find you. Okay, and using this platform, this channel, and the Man of High Value channel, as long as they receive the stamp of approval, the man received the stamp of approval that he is the right guy,